Do you have the time to listen to me?
Maths really makes no sense to me. People say that it's just all logic and it really shouldn't be that hard. But for me it is, because to me maths is not logical. But I guess one could say that my logic is kind of a bit screwed up. Well, my logic is upside down, topsy-turvy. To other people, it may seem completely and utterly random. But to me, it's just logic. It's just the way things should be. As a kid, I was once thinking, I thought then that the bubbles in your fizzy drink rise to the top because they had nothing in them. Like, they were empty, sort of. They were gas. They were lighter than the water. So, in my mind, I thought it was perfectly logical to think that if you could fill the bubbles up with something heavier than water, then the bubbles would sink instead of rise. I don't even know with my logic if I live solely in reality. Sometimes I wonder about what reality is, and how much of what we perceive as reality is actually created by ourselves or by our minds. There's this quote by a person called Ray Bradbury, and it says, you must stay drunk on writing, so reality cannot destroy you. And to me, that quote really is true. But recently, I've become in a slump in my writing, in my creative processes. I haven't been reading as much as I usually do. In fact, I'm hardly reading at all because I don't have enough time to go to the library, and I feel like I'm just barely hanging on. I really have that sensation of just hanging on top of this, on the edge of this giant cliff, with only just like a few fingers keeping me from falling. Reality, I believe, is in some sense starting to destroy me as a person. I don't know how to explain it. It's like I'm some sort of alien who can't fully survive, who can't survive wholly in this world, and has to have one foot in another world and one foot in this world to adequately survive. And I've taken my foot out of the other world, and I don't like it. I'm craving fantasy books. It's one that I haven't read already. I don't know whether I make my decisions using my heart or my mind more. I do not really separate the two. I guess what someone calls heart, I would call emotions. And what other people call using your mind, I would call thoughts. Or your moral compass points, which we use to distinguish between right and wrong. But emotions, for me, are physical. I don't know if it's like this for anyone else, but when I get emotionally exhausted, I get physically exhausted. There is no separation of the two. When I feel hatred of someone, and there's really only one person who I hate, I feel sick almost. I feel like I want to throw up to get rid of that thing inside of me. My decisions are based on what I feel is right. What feels right. Sometimes it may be about whether it's allowed or not allowed, or if I'll get into trouble or not. But most of the time, it's about if I feel right, if it feels right. Maybe that's why I have such trouble clothes shopping, because a lot of the clothes, yeah, they look nice, but something just doesn't feel right about them. It's hard to explain. It's like there's some inner critic inside me just banging to get out and screaming, but I don't hear them, and I only fear this niggling sensation that something isn't right. Something's off.